Manchester Mayfield Station, once a symbol of Manchester's industrial pride, now stands as a forgotten relic of a time when railways were the lifeblood of the nation. Opened in 1910 by the London and Northwestern Railway, it was built to relieve the pressure on Manchester Piccadilly, which was then known as London Road Station. The city was booming, its industries humming with the power of coal and steam. Mayfield Station was designed to keep up with that boom, its platforms bustling with passengers travelling across the country. For decades, it played a crucial role in Manchester's railway network, but like so many grand ventures of the industrial era, its significance began to fade all too quickly. The post-World War II years marked the beginning of the station's decline. The rise of the motorcar and improvements in road infrastructure started pulling passengers away from the railways. By the 1960s, the demand for Mayfield services had plummeted. It closed to passengers in 1960, just 50 years after opening its doors. Although it briefly found a second life as a parcels depot, even that purpose was not to last. By 1986, Mayfield was shut down for good. Its grand halls, once filled with the noise of travellers and trains, now stood silent, slowly succumbing to neglect and decay. For decades, the station lay abandoned, a silent testament to the changing fortunes of Manchester's railway network. The once bustling platforms became overgrown with weeds, the iron columns rusted, and the glass roof shattered, allowing the rain to pour into the empty halls. Its decaying beauty, however, attracted the attention of urban explorers and filmmakers. The station became a symbol of urban decay, its haunting atmosphere perfect for the gritty dramas and thrillers that often featured it. Prime Suspect and The Street used Mayfield as a backdrop, its broken windows and crumbling walls adding a layer of realism to their stories of crime and despair. For many, Mayfield was no longer a station, but a metaphor for the decline of Britain's industrial heartlands. Yet, even in its abandonment, there was something compelling about Mayfield. Its architectural grandeur, though battered by time, remained a powerful symbol of the past. The towering arches, the vast platforms, and the intricate ironwork all spoke of a time when the station was built to last, to endure. It was a place designed for movement, yet it had become frozen in time, a paradox of progress halted in its tracks. Walking through its empty halls, one couldn't help but imagine the stories of the people who had passed through, workers on their way to the factories, families setting off on holiday, soldiers leaving for war. All those lives intersected at Mayfield, and yet now it was a place that seemed forgotten by time itself. But Manchester Mayfield Station is not to remain forgotten forever. In recent years, plans have been set in motion to give the station a new lease on life. A $1 billion regeneration project is underway, one that will transform the site into a cultural and creative hub for the city. The station will be repurposed as Depot Mayfield, a 10,000 capacity venue for concerts, performances and festivals. What was once a place of movement and travel will now be a space for art, music and culture. The surrounding area, which has long been neglected, will also see a massive transformation. New office buildings, homes, and even a park will be created, turning this forgotten corner of Manchester into a vibrant new neighbourhood. This regeneration is not just about the future though, it's also about honouring the past. The architects and planners behind the project are keen to preserve Mayfield's industrial heritage, ensuring that the station's unique architecture remains a central feature of the redevelopment. The red brick arches and iron columns will be restored, blending the old with the new in a way that reflects Manchester's ability to reinvent itself while staying true to its roots. The station will no longer be a symbol of decline, but of renewal, a place where the city's history and future come together. Despite these exciting plans, it's hard not to feel a sense of loss for what Mayfield once was. It will never again serve as a railway station. The trains that once rattled through its platforms are gone. replaced by the hum of music and the chatter of festival goers. The sense of purpose that Mayfield had as a transport hub is now part of its history, not its future. For those who remember the station in its prime, there's a bittersweet feeling in seeing it repurposed. While the regeneration is undoubtedly a positive step, it's also a reminder that the past cannot be recaptured, only repurposed. Mayfield's transformation into a cultural venue is part of a broader trend across the UK, where forgotten and abandoned spaces are being brought back to life, from the disused railways of London to the old factories of the Midlands. There is a movement to breathe new life into the structures of the industrial age. These places, once at the heart of Britain's economy, have been left behind by progress, but they are now finding new purposes. In many ways, these regenerations are symbolic of the country's ability to adapt and evolve, to find beauty and function in what has been discarded. The future of Manchester Mayfield Station is bright, but it will never fully escape the shadow of its past. As the station is transformed, it will become a place for new stories to be told, yet it will always carry with it the weight of history, the memories of the travellers who once passed through, the echoes of the industrial age that built it, and the decades of silence that followed its closure. For those who pass through its doors in the future, Mayfield will be a place of music and art, but for those who know its history, it will always be more than that. It will be a reminder of a forgotten chapter in Manchester's story, one that is being rewritten but not erased. As Mayfield steps into this new chapter, we are reminded of the resilience of cities like Manchester, built on industry, shaken by decline, and reborn through innovation. The city has never stopped moving forward. Mayfield's journey from railway station to cultural hub mirrors Manchester's own transformation, from the powerhouse of the Industrial Revolution to a modern city that values both its past and its future. In the years to come, Depot Mayfield will host countless events, and millions of people will create new memories within its walls. But for those who know its story, it will always be the forgotten station, a place where the past lingers in every brick, every beam of iron, and every echo of the old railway tracks. Manchester Mayfield Station may have been forgotten, but it has never been lost. And now, as it prepares for its grand revival, it reminds us that even the most neglected places can be reborn. The future may be bright, but the memory of Mayfield's past will never fade. It is a station of stories, both old and new, and its legacy will live on in the hearts of those who remember what it once was and what it has now become.